Assalamu alaikum dear students. Welcome to today's class. Today we are going to discuss the paper 4 that is relevant to business strategy. Previously we have discussed how to attempt the question that was a timeline question, question number 1. And in today's class we are going to discuss the future strategy based question, that is question number 2. The command word for this question is advice. So again we have paper 4 as you can see on your screens. It is a specimen paper. The total marks are 40 and the time allowed is 1 hour and 15 minutes. Previously we have attempted the first question, that was evaluate RF's strategy for growth between 2008 and 2019. But in today's class, we are going to discuss the second question on which we are going to advise Sue on which approaches she should use to develop a new business strategy for RF2. So let's just begin. So again we have to discuss the case study first. It was Ryan's farm. Previously we discussed that RF was set up in Australia in 2001 when John Ryan bought a farm, equipment and inventory for $1.5 million. He financed the purchase with a bank loan which was fully repaid by 2008. Initially, the RF produced sugarcane, pineapples, and mangoes. So, here we can see the initial products were sugarcane, pineapples, and mangoes. And this is the timeline for RF's growth strategy. Now, further, we need to discuss the growth strategy that was provided to us according to the timeline. So, let's just see. In 2008, 2000 to 2014, several purchases of land to increase capacity, gain economies of scale, and maximize profit margins. All profits were reinvested in RF. So this was between 2008 and 2014. So there was a growth strategy adopted, internal growth, organic growth, in which he purchased several lands to increase its production capacity and to gain the benefits of economies of scale, which we discussed in our first question. And obviously this helped him out to minimize his cost of production and maximize his profit margins. And we also discussed that this did not only maximize his profits, but all the profits he earned was reinvested. So he reinvested all of the profits to further grow the business. This again helped him gain economies of scale. And in 2015, all land converted to sugarcane production. So he converted all of the land to sugarcane production, and in Appendix 1 we can see that why he converted all of his the land to sugarcane production, because we can find some information in Appendix 1. Because of the large profit margins, 80% of Australian sugarcane is exported. So these were the reasons why he converted all of his lands into sugarcane production. Previously, he was growing three products, three crops, but now in 2015, he shifted all of his land to pineapple production, to sugarcane production, because of these all factors. And these all factors obviously influenced him to shift his production. Number one was large profit margins. Number two is export. Obviously we know that exports results in higher profitability, and there are maximum benefits to the business of exporting goods. The main markets in which he was exporting products were Russia, China, Indonesia, and United States. And obviously foreign exchange, this was also reason he earned foreign exchange. And then we see that Australia does not subsidize sugarcane production, however European and American producers are subsidized. So this again may be a threat to him, but we discussed all of these factors in our first question. Now let's just get back to the main body of the case study. So in 2016, he took over BKL, a neighboring firm that was a form of external growth. He took over a neighboring firm for $10 million. And where did this $10 million came from? It came from financing. He financed this takeover through a bank loan, and he also sell some of his shares, 49% to be exact, his shares, and formed a newly private limited company. And he holds majority of 51% shares, and 49% were shares were distributed to other members. And he became the managing director with majority 51% of the shares. And in 2018, he purchased a new building financed by a mortgage. We can see in appendix 3, and in appendix 2 we also can see how it how the takeover resulted. The takeover of BKR resulted in different corporate cultures, and obviously rather than giving him benefits of economies of scale, it affected the business negatively because of two different corporate cultures approaches being followed. One was using hard HRM approach, other one was using soft HRM approach. So this is how it affected the BKL's objectives. And we can also see that half of them choose to leave, half of the employees, RF moved BKL employees to analyze contracts, but half of them, these employees choose to leave. Recruitment is difficult, so these were the effects. Uh, we can see human resource strategy that resulted, that was because of BKL's takeover. And in appendix C3, we can see that this was a data when he bought a building. Let's just get to main body. In 2018, he purchased a new building. We can see that he purchased a new building financed by a mortgage. So this appendix 3 is relevant to new building that was financed through mortgage. This building helped RF's inventory capacity by 300%. So his inventory holding capacity increased, but obviously inventory holding cost may have also been increased. So we discussed these in our analysis. In our first question, it allows RFs to hold high levels of inventory for several months to take advantage of price changes. And there was computerized inventory control system linked with the enterprise resource planning system used by all major sugar factories. So all major sugar factories are using basically ERP system um, to communicate, to control their supplies from suppliers. So having a computerized inventory control system would help him uh, gain those businesses as a customers, have resulted in those major sugar factories. So this was the analysis points we can discuss, and we discussed in our first question. And in 2019, shareholders approved company's financial results at the annual general meeting AGM Appendix 4. So in Appendix 4, we can see the financial information, that is analysis of the published accounts. We discussed the ratios, that was profitability ratio in the form of current ratio and acid test ratio. We discussed return on capital employed, that is a measure of profit with respect to investment. And we discussed the rate of inventory turnover, that is relevant to efficient management of inventory, and what effect it would have on gearing, that is basically the risk factor when you think when you consider the amount of bank loan and overall capital employed of the business. And obviously at the end we have been provided with the profit of the year. So we are going to discuss, and afterwards developing a business strategy. So we are going to attempt question number second. in which we need to advise the Sue on the business strategies. So in 2020, a fire destroyed all RF's building and its inventory of recently harvested sugarcane. So all of the inventory was destroyed by fire in 2020, and RF was unable to continue its operations, and John Ryan, that was the owner, had chosen to retire and has left his controlling share of the company to his daughter Sue. Now, this is where the Sue entered into the family business. Why? Because his father retired, and he retired because of he was unable to continue the operations because all of his inventory was destroyed by fire. So he decided to retire afterwards, and he uh, made his daughter Sue now the owner of the company. Now we need to advise you. Now this is very important for our question. Previous all the things we have discussed were majority were relevant to question number one. But now we are going to discuss the question number two, in which we need to advise the Sue on his future approaches to make strategy. So Sue is determined to create a successful new farming business. So this is an application point. We can use it in our application that Sue is a new owner of the business and is determined and to create a new farming business. So she wants some changes uh, in the business in future, and she named the business as RF2, Rayan Farm 2. She has adopted the following for this purpose. She has adopted the following mission statement and aims as the basis of business strategy. So she wants to develop a new business strategy. On the basis of what? On the basis of mission statement. The mission statement is provided to us by the examiner. So this is, we can use this mission statement as an application, and then can make analysis on the appropriateness of on the effectiveness of this mission statement, whether the mission statement is good enough to uh, address the stakeholders and to address the purpose of the company. Mission statement is profitability through sustainability. So she linked the profitability with sustainability. So how these two are compatible, how effective a strategy could be made to increase the profitability but through sustainability at the same time. So this is some analysis points we can discuss, so we can apply it and analyze it in our when we attempt this question. I'll discuss these points in detail. And now we are going to discuss the aims. Aims are also our application point is aim. Our aim is to develop business options for farming the land. So she wants some new business options for farming the land, the new business options. This is an application point. And where these options will come from, this is the next question. So she can use blue ocean strategy as a form of strategic analysis to conduct to so this is a form of strategic analysis which she can use for to develop new business options. So blue ocean strategy we can discuss in our analysis, the advantages of blue ocean strategy, how she can use blue ocean strategy to find to create a competitive advantage, to innovate not just with the production of or with the farming of land, how she can use new ways to increase the production of the land, to she can introduce new ways of farming and then market Marketing is also an important factor here. How she can use new ways of marketing to distribute those products into the market. So here the analysis of blue ocean strategy can be linked with this option. And on second aim, we have identify market opportunities. Market opportunities uh, through we can use market opportunities, identify market opportunities through external environmental analysis. We can use pest analysis. We can conduct the analysis of external environment, and we know that pest includes political factors, economical factors, social and technological factors. We can discuss these factors, but obviously there is very limited data available in the case study to identify the market opportunities. So to what extent these pest analysis was useful and what other analysis can be used to identify market opportunities. Obviously SWOT analysis can also be used to identify the opportunities and threats into the external environment, into the market, and this can also be used. And third point is develop core competencies. So in order to develop core competencies, you need to have your core product or core technology, anything that gives a business its competitive advantage over its competitors. So we can see that she can use core competency analysis to identify the type of product in which she is competent. We can see that she's been very skilled. Her father has been very skilled in sugarcane farming, and he also exported the sugarcane and gain profit margins. And he was also able to grow sugarcane with economies of scale, lowering the cost of production. So it would have helped her to, again start farming the sugarcane. That may be her core product, but again we have a very limited knowledge about it, and we don't have any other information about the technologies that can help him go for competitive advantage. And fourth one is aim is to operate efficiently with the dynamic environment. We know that dynamic environment means consistently changing market conditions, changes in technology, changes in demand, changes in taste, fashion trends. So how she will be able to respond to these changes, and obviously the appropriate source of finance. So this is all the discussion about the case study. Now we are moving towards our answer. I have also gathered some point for our answer just to minimize the time, and we can discuss these points in our answer to gain maximum marks. So this is basically the answer I have developed. So we have 20 marks. Out of these 20 marks, we have 20 marks are further divided into 3 marks for knowledge, 2 for application, 8 for analysis, and 7 for evaluation. So we have got these 20 marks. So starting from knowledge points, we need to give, again before answering the question, I'll show you the question again. The question is, advise Sue on which approaches she should use to develop a new business strategy. So in this particular question, this is a future oriented question in which you need to advise her to use the approaches to in order to make an effective business strategy. So you can start the question from the knowledge of strategic management, and you can define what is meant by strategic management. You can define strategy, you can define strategic analysis, you can define strategic choices, you can define strategic implementation, you can give the knowledge of any of these methods that are used for strategic analysis and choices. For example, you can give the knowledge of SWOT analysis or pest analysis or scenario planning or blue ocean strategy or core competency or ANSOF matrix. Any of these strategic analysis tools can be used for knowledge points. But the next important part is your application points. So application is the most important part. So we can see that we can use the mission statement of the business that is related to sustainability. We can link the mission statement to sustainability, and then how what effect it would have on its stakeholders, and whether linking the mission statement in mission statement profitability to sustainability, whether it will be an opportunity for the business. There is changes, there is growing demand by the pressure groups or its stakeholders to be sustainable in its operation, whether this would help so to gain more revenues, to increase its profits and to increase in its brand name, whether linking the mission statements and in mission statements its profits to sustainability will help her out. We need to assess this, and again we need to discuss the aims, that are the long term goals. And we can see that we can she is looking to for new business options. She is looking for new business options, and we can go for new products or new markets, and we can use ANSOF matrix to choose whether which of these options are more suitable. uh, we in ANSOF matrix we can discuss the high risk approach and the low risk approach. Obviously developing new products is a bit risky, and going into a new market is also a risky approach as compared to existing markets. So we can use ANSOF matrix. How ANSOF matrix will help her choose what kind of approach she is going to use, whether she wants to develop new products that are more organic products that have high demand into the market. So whether she need to develop new crops, new products, and or whether she need to enter into a new market. So we can use this, and we can also use core competency approach. Core competency means core products that will help her give its business a competitive advantage. We can use these application points and develop these into analysis points. So application is basically the use of information that is provided to you by the examiner. So making analysis of these points will give you analysis marks. So again, the new option, business option, may be to move from primary sector into a secondary sector, from the manufacturing of sugar cane to manufacture sugar. She could have start its own business of production of sugar. So she may move from primary to secondary sector, or she may provide raw material that is in the form of sugar cane to sugar manufacturers. So these are the options you can make analysis on. And you can also use other approaches, but we have very limited knowledge about those approaches. So in this particular question, I think the analysis points will be focused on ANSOF matrix, some of the strength of the businesses and opportunities in the external environment in the form of SWOT analysis. In order to identify market opportunities, you can use best analysis, and in order to identify the core competency, she can use a core competency approach. And then for she can also use blue ocean strategy, that can also help her out to identify new ways production that will also help her out to develop new products with less resources. So blue ocean strategy would help her out basically to develop new products and to develop new ways of producing existing products. So blue ocean strategy is the most suitable strategy in this particular scenario. But again, we have very limited information about it. So this is how you are going to analyze at least 3 points, 3 approaches. So if I have been in your place, I could have used blue ocean strategy, Ansoff matrix, and core competency approach, and to some extent SWOT analysis for effective analysis basis. And finally, in evaluation, we need to give evaluation on each of these approaches. For blue ocean strategy, we can say that this may be the most useful approach. For SWOT analysis, we don't have enough information about the strength and weaknesses of the business, but we can identify opportunity in terms of sustainability, and strength may be in the form of its experience in producing sugarcane. So again, it is incomplete. Best analysis would give her information about the market opportunities, about the government incentives, political environment, the legal structure, economical environment, and the impact of technology and social factors. So again, we have very limited information about these factors, but this can also be used. And the most useful approach is Ansoff matrix, in which there are two variables. One is product, other one is market. This is basically in the form of, this is here product is, here the market is, and we have new product or existing product, and existing markets and new markets. So there were four key elements: new and existing. There were four approaches, four strategies came out through uh, Ansoff matrix. One was penetration strategy, other one was uh, product development, third one was market development, and last one was diversification. So she can use Ansoff matrix to identify the type of approach she can use to build its strategy. And again, we can also use the data available. So obviously, the successful approach will depend upon the data availability, the time and resources to plan for business strategy. Obviously, it is a primary sector business, and it's been recently been destroyed by fire. So she won't have any further information about the businesses. So, and she also got very less time because and again, the data suggests that she may also be suffering from the loan. Why? Because in previous years, her father has obtained very high loan, and the gearing ratio was quite high, and the profit was dropping very rapidly. So we can use the data provided to us in the appendix for for our reasoning and evaluation. And this is how we are going to give evaluative statements on all of these analysis points: whether she have got expertise, whether she have got enough time, whether she has skills to conduct effective market research, whether she has got time and resources, because she is also having higher gearing ratio, and resources may not be enough. So from where the resources will come if you want to develop a strategy to enter into a new market, or to develop a new kind of product. So you can evaluate these points, and this is how you are going to evaluate the question. So that's it from today's class. In today's class, we have discussed the future-oriented question. We have advised Sui so which kind of approaches. So in my opinion, blue ocean strategy, Ansoff matrix, and core competency approach, and SWOT to some extent may be the most useful approaches in this particular scenario to identify the factors that are important for developing a um, successful business strategy. So this is all from today's class. If you have any questions, just let me know. I will be willing to answer any of your queries regarding the paper 4. Your comments are very valuable to me. Please like and subscribe my channel to watch these videos relevant to your business, and also share it to your friends and family. And please comment on my videos regarding whatever you think about whether the content was good, whether it was helpful to you, whether I need to make these videos consistently. So any type of feedback will be very healthy for me, will be very useful for me. So thank you so much, students. That's all from today's class. See you in next class. Until then, bye bye.